The North American market heads into Q4 and holiday season, buying under continued pressure, with Atlantic cod holding at record highs, salmon availability tightening, limited relief from pollock and haddock, and Pacific halibut facing record low landings. Russian salmon harvests are tracking to exceed 400,000 metric tons, with over 70% of the revised forecast already landed. However, it's being said that about 90% is utilized domestically due to U.S. sanctions, removing Russia as a low-cost export option and aligning prices with Alaska. In Alaska, salmon harvests are nearing 200 million fish, with pink surpassing 100 million. While harvests are in line with forecasts, global supply will likely fall short of peak years like 2023, but have already surpassed last year's record low. Atlantic cod remains the priciest and most volatile whitefish, with Russian prices climbing and Norwegian levels at historic highs. Iceland's harvest is steady at about 145,000 metric tons, while Norway-Russia catches are currently about 40% of last year's, keeping supply tight in North America. Pollock remains stable but costly. Russian prices have eased from earlier highs, yet stay historically firm, with harvests slightly ahead of last year's pace at about 1.6 million metric tons. Alaska is just under 1.2 million harvested, slightly behind 2024 but broadly in line with recent averages. With both regions tracking close to normal, buyers should not expect meaningful downward pressure on prices. Haddock shows rare price softening, giving buyers an opening. Catches may finish below recent years, with Norway-Russia landings about 30% lower than 2024, while Iceland's harvest is steady near 55,000 metric tons. Despite the easing, overall supply is limited, so relief may be short-lived. Pacific cod prices continue to firm as both U.S. and Chinese processors compete for supply. Alaska has landed just over 110,000 metric tons, trailing slightly behind 2024 levels, while Russia landings are tracking at a similar pace as last year. With potential for less landings than in previous seasons, Pacific cod remains an expensive substitute for Atlantic cod. Pacific halibut landings are now about 2.7 million pounds behind the pace of last year, running parallel with a fishery limit 5 million pounds lower as well. Current harvest is just under 13 million, about half of 2024's total, and 3 months remain in the season. The halibut market faces tight supply, high dock prices, and pressure to substitute with Atlantic halibut or other whitefish. Our recommendation is to secure your Q4 and holiday supply early, reinforcing the outlook of constrained supply and firm pricing across nearly all major species. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to our 3-Minute Market Insight to stay tuned for further updates. Thank you for joining me for the Tradex Foods 3-Minute Market Insight. This has been Ryan, reminding you to buy smart and eat more seafood.